Run me down.
All right. Live in 5, 4, 3, 2.
What's up, everybody? Jack here with Onewheel. We got Laser to my left, Joey, and Ted, the round table of knights here, talking
Helmets.
We're talking helmets.
Helmet Awareness Week, people.
That's right, because helmets are important. Keep you safe. So, real quick, Helmet Awareness Week. These are all the helmets that we have online. These are all discounted for this week because we want to do whatever it takes to get you wearing a helmet and riding safely. So I guess I'll kick it off real quick. So I was snowboarding the other day, and I was struck by something, which was that everyone was wearing helmets. And I just kind of thought back to like when I was growing up going snowboarding and skiing before that. No one wore helmets, right? And so it's kind of interesting to see that there's been this like cultural shift in adoption in the ski and snow industry, where like now it's the norm, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I think this discussion is about how can we get there? How can that become part of the Onewheel community core understanding? And I think there's like a lot of things in play there, right? But we'd like to do our part.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about changing an entire culture, that starts really small with the community. And I remember when I was young, certainly didn't wear a helmet a lot of the times. I don't know about you guys. Certainly regret that. But you guys have any stories about... What?
We heard one from Ted earlier.
When I was a kid, I had to wear a helmet when I left the house, right? As all my friends did. But as soon as we would leave...
Shout out to Mama Rosser.
Yeah. As soon as everyone would leave, everyone would attach their helmet to the front of their handlebars. It was just like a cool thing to do. But back then, you're like a self-conscious kid. You don't want to go to the skate park and be like the only kid wearing a helmet. So you don't. And then,
Put it back on.
Put it back on by the time you get home. And it's like, all right, cool. But then in reality, like, really no point.
The funny thing is that you still have the helmet with, like... The funny thing is it's cooler to just have the helmet, like, taped around your bike or whatever than on your head.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing. Yeah, I obviously that makes no sense.
Yeah.
But it is funny how, like, sometimes it takes some looking back to realize, like, wow, that was really dumb. I was, like, really worried about what people were thinking to me and, like, not worried about...
Saving my head at a young age.
Saving my head at a young age.
Yeah.
Totally. I think, like, obviously we all know that, like, riding a Onewheel, there are absolutely risks associated with riding a Onewheel, right? It's like, it is a sport, people ride them off-road.
Yeah.
And people ride them on the street with, like, cars and all kinds of stuff. So I think it's just, like, it's an interesting question of, like, risk-reward. I know online you see people that are like, that thing looks so insane, I would never ride that. That's like, but really, like, if you take the time to understand how it works, right, and you take the precautions that you should, just like driving, right, like you learn how to drive, take your time, you wear a seatbelt. I think that for tens of thousands of people, right, like the rewards greatly outweigh the risks, but yeah. The helmets are the seatbelts of the Onewheel world, I would say.
That's good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, they are.
Don't get pulled over without a helmet.
Click it or ticket.
I'm pretty sure in California there is some sort of law about helmet wearing, but that's a whole separate.
No,
thing.
I actually got a ticket for not wearing a helmet on a bike when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Really?
at a certain age, you have to wear a helmet.
I had to go to a special class about wearing helmets.
What did you learn? Give us a fact.
Well, a guy that had gotten in a bad car accident, actually on 17, is very vivid.
Wow.
He gave us a whole lesson on, brain injuries, and it's really not something you want to mess with. So at the end of the day, it's just common sense to wear a helmet. Like, why wouldn't you?
It's funny, we do like so many demos and stuff and just riding around, and half the time when I'm wearing a helmet, I just forget that it's on. Like, I've gotten into my car so many times wearing my helmet and, like, just start going. And I have this moment where I'm like, I maybe should just be wearing this, like, all the time when I drive,
It's not a bad idea. We have talked about quite a few things already, but one of the things that I want to focus on now is the changing of the culture around wearing helmets. We all know that there are these notions of helmets not being cool. And that's really the only reason I could think of somebody not wearing it, which is not a valid reason, but can you guys think of any other reasons why you wouldn't wear a helmet while one-wheeling or doing any other board sport, with the exception of maybe surfing?
Some people are even doing that now.
Yeah.
You said something interesting about a social media interaction you had.
Yeah, actually, like a couple weeks ago, there was a dad that had uploaded a video of his daughter riding a one-wheel. And she was doing really good, but I know she wasn't wearing a helmet, so I commented back to her, or to him, that, hey, she's doing great, but, you know, she should probably be wearing a helmet. Dad commented back, he said, you know, we're a no helmet family. Haha, thanks. I know you have to say that. Commented back, like, no, I actually don't have to say that. Like, I really do care, and, you know, actually I'll give you a discount on a helmet if you want it. And no response. I don't know what being a no helmet family really means, but if we're talking about changing the culture, like, starting there, like, there's no reason that you know, has to perpetuate being a no helmet family, being a no helmet person. Again, going back to common sense.
It's kind of like the vacciners a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know if that's a hot topic still.
Well,
Anti-litters.
Yeah, anti-litters. And I think one of the rebuttals would be like, you know, I can do what I want. You know, it's my choice. And that is certainly the beauty of life. You can do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, your decisions have impacts on not just your own life and other people's life. And if you're wearing a helmet, certainly you're just better off.
Yeah, I think you mentioned this earlier, I think, which is that even if you feel strongly that your own riding ability is at the highest echelon of one-wheeling globally, there's cars, there's people on phones, there's birds, there's all kinds of scooters and animals. There's all kinds of stuff out there that you know,
you might trust yourself and your riding ability, but do you trust all the people on the road?
Right.
Yeah, what I was saying is, like, people might wear helmets for other activities, and while they think riding one wheel is pretty easy, which it is once you get the hang of it, that's why some people are like, it's like, I know how to do it, like, I don't need to wear a helmet. But you never know when you're going to take a tumble, you know?
Right. Totally. Yeah, I think it's just like, one of the reasons we're making this video, we're talking to you people of the internet here, is that, like, it's a coalition thing, right? The more that we can all play our part, it's small things for us, you know, and we're human. Like, I've gone outside on one wheel with no helmet on 100%, just going in my car. Like, it's a, you know, quick thing like that. But the more that each of us can add to this cause, can perpetuate the cause, and just, you know, even just yourself wearing a helmet, right? Like, that sends a message to those around you that, like, this is a good thing to do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we tend to forget in this world of influencers and influencing, like, we are influencers every day, every part of our lives. You know, we're influencing each other, we're influencing our family members and people we're around, you know. So when people see you wear a helmet, it influences them, hopefully. And that's how I think ultimately you create change.
Right.
And,
and a good example of that, right, is that Adam has this hat, and now I want that hat. Right? So
there you go. Yeah.
And now, if there was, let's say, can we think of a reason besides health, well-being, human safety, and success to wear a helmet? All that aside, is there another reason to wear a helmet?
If you're a wheeler and you want to tag One Wheel on Instagram,
which happens thousands of times per day.
At least. We're not going to post your photo unless you're wearing a helmet.
True. That's fact. Check.
Photo, video, anything.
Yeah, and you guys do so much cool stuff. It's honestly, it's like excruciating and frustrating for us here in the office, because every morning we come in, we like look at the new hot fire. It's like, ooh, we'd love to We'd love to
Use that.
throw that up, but yeah, get you
Um,
some clout.
Yeah, so when we go through and we see each person's mention tag on the store or whatever, there's a good, I'd say 60% of content that comes through. Probably more than that, actually, that does not have a helmet. Whether it's someone that goes to the traditional iPhone clip of someone shooting their feet and then up and then rotating it around or something, seeing their head.
Into the selfie mode.
Selfie mode. It's cool and all, and then as soon as you see it's no helmet, it's like,
Can't do anything with it.
So, wear one for your own good. Wear one for your social power ranking self as well.
Your clout score.
Your
The
clout score.
influence that you have on
Yeah,
others.
and wear one for global positive change, because you know why
That's,
not?
that's what it's all about.
helmets.
Hashtag. Should we say it all at the same time? Do we all know it?
I don't know.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Helmets are cool.
Wait. I was trying to say hashtag first.
We're doing it again.
Hey,
One.
I was thinking of the right thing.
One,
Helmets are
2,
cool.
3.
Hashtag helmets are cool. Sick.
That was
So
funny.
maybe we'll cut it there. We'll probably cut it there. Have a good day, guys. Pick up a helmet. Make sure you're wearing
On
one.
discount, onewheel.com. If you
Like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. And follow us on TikTok.
Yeah.
Peace out.